But look, before we do that, speaking of walking and exercising, and I guess tracking your walking and so on, there's an interesting challenge which has gone out for people to not only sort of track their walks and rides and runs and so on, but to try and map them out such that they can sort of draw a picture at the same time if you use one of those tracking apps that maps where you've been. Southwest Sport are one of the organisations behind this. Andrew Sloane is the program manager at Southwest Sport and with us this morning to explain what this challenge is about. Andrew, good morning to you.
Good morning, Jeremy. Good morning, Dave. And good morning, Drewy. How are we all? Morning, mate.
Everyone is very good. Andrew, what is this challenge about? Just explain it to us.
Well, Jeremy, as you know, this year's been quite an interesting year with no community sport really getting up and running. So the challenge has really come from trying to support the community to stay physically active, but also promote a bit of social connectedness amongst their community, because something like this really promotes seeing what other people are doing and maybe issuing a bit of an individual challenge to yourself as well.
And a bit of creativity as well, I imagine. So how do you advise people to go about doing this? How do you, where do you start if you want to sort of try to draw something as a part of your exercise?
Yeah, fantastic question. I've had a few cracks myself, and it's sometimes not as easy as you think, but I've certainly looked at Google Maps to try and look at my neighbourhood and see if I can be creative enough to come up with some imagery. But some people might just like to go for a walk around their neighbourhood, look at their route that they've taken post-walk, and go, oh, if I'd have taken a left there and a right there, I could have turned that into a cow or a tree or whatever the case might be.
Well, what have you managed to draw so far?
Look, I'd hate to spoil what my creativity levels are like, but I did try and write the word Southwest with my beautiful wife, and you can see the results of that on our webpage, which is southwestsport.com.au/Southwest Moves. That was a long trip, actually. It was about 7 Ks, and I was stuffed by the end of that.
I guess that's the other part of this challenge, isn't it? You might sort of map it out and think, yeah, I can draw, I can recreate the Mona Lisa if I take this particular sort of route. But in doing that, you might be spending 6 hours walking to achieve it.
Exactly right. I mean, you can look online and you see some pretty elaborate pictures, but I would suggest that most of those have come from cyclists, and that's perfectly fine. We're more than happy for people to cycle, to run, walk. Perhaps you're using a wheelchair, and that's perfectly fine as well. Yeah. It's really not about how far you go. We're not suggesting, that Ben goes and runs the Great Southwest Walk again. Right. 250 Ks is a bit extreme. But it's not about how far or how long you're going for. It's about trying to be a little bit creative and encouraging some physical activity at the same time.
Yeah. So if people would like to take up the challenge, how do they do it?
The best way is to go to our website, which I mentioned earlier, southwestsport.com.au/Southwest Moves, and that's got all the details there. It talks about how to download the app Strava, which is the platform we're encouraging people to use. It's a free app, so you jump onto Strava, search for Southwest Sport as a club, join that up, and we'll get to see your creative images as we go into the September school holidays.
Fantastic. I think I might try and do the ABC logo perhaps somewhere after.
You should, Jeremy. And in fact, we've got a fitness tracker as one of the prizes. If you register online, you go in the draw to win a prize if you come up with a creative image. So you could be walking away with a nice little Fitbit.
We'll see how we go. Andrew, thanks very much. I look forward to seeing what it is that people do come up with.